Also, I just wanted to let everybody know, guys, one of the things that's going on is we've been sponsored, so that's going on. You can also kind of hear the outside noise, so I apologize for that. Unfortunately, we have a lawn crew outside right now, so that's the thing. Anyhow, welcome everyone to the stream. I'm so glad that you are here. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be working more on our Draconian library. We've got some things we need to finish painting up, and then we've just got to get some things glued into place. But before that, we have to get the windows set up. So we're going to end up finishing up the painting first, then we'll go ahead and do the window. I'm going to move the window stuff out of the way, because we don't need none of that right now. Also, we've been sponsored. So we got sponsored by W Energy Drink. They're an energy drink mix that it's made from the extract from coffee beans. So, but it's enough caffeine for your whole day without giving you the jitters, no crash, things like that. And if you use my promo code, which is Solar Wolf Plays, you get 10% off your first order from the company. So go check them out at wenergydrink.com. Anyhow, let me flip this around so y'all can actually see what we're up to today. There we go. Alright, so let's get our craft mat into place. Always got to make certain we have this down, just in case we have to use sharp objects. Oh. Got our painter's palette. Let's move our flat black out of the way. We got our painter's palette. And let's see. We're going to work on this bookshelf first, guys. So let me see if I can get this angled a bit better for y'all. Oh, right there. Perfect. Look at that. Alright, so we're going to need a little bit of some browns, some darker browns for the books, some blacks for the books. Let's grab this nice dwarven gold for some of the bindings. Got our painter's palette. Let's see here. Let's grab ourselves some brushes. We're going to want to make certain we have some brushes for everything that we're doing. There it is. There's the ultra fine detail brush. So we got our brushes. Okay. So we're going to start with some brown because we're going to want to do over a good portion of these books with that brown. And this is just a standard bare brown through Game Master paints. So it's a pretty decent paint. I really like this one. I hope you guys can see the project for as good as my lighting can be. Unfortunately, you know, I'm doing this in a kitchen, so not like I have a lot of cooking choice. So let's go ahead and we're going to use our ultra fine detail brush here in a few moments, but we want to have this. God bless. So the reason you guys see me dropping a lot of things, just out of all honesty, is I have Parkinson's. I have stage 2 Parkinson's, so my hands shake a lot. And so I tend to drop things sometimes and whatnot. But so if you guys can see here what we're doing, we've got the bookshelf. And what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be going over the books. Like so. Because we have this nice row of books that we have here on most of the shelves. Shelves. We're just going to want to make certain that if it's part of this set here, like anything that looks like an encyclopedia, we're going to be using this darker brown on. And then we've got others that we'll use a lighter brown on. I have a lighter brown as well. And we're just going to want to try and get that into all the little gaps and spaces. think I finally have my camera angle set so you guys can see everything I'm actually doing instead of my hand in the way. So that's a thing. This one book down here looks like it's probably going to be another encyclopedia type, so we'll give it another nice dark brown. Like so. This one looks like it's of that same type. And you'll notice, guys, that I'm real detail oriented when it comes to certain things. Like if a book of a certain type is a certain color, I'm going to make all the other books of that same exact type, that same color. So like anything with these double bindings that looks like it might be a, you know, like an encyclopedia or a dictionary, whatever, it's going to get this same darker brown. While other books on the bookshelf, since you can see clearly that some of them are shaped differently, they aren't quite the same kind of book. So they'll get a lighter brown, which I also will grab here in a moment. And then in these back zones, we're just going to make them black in the background areas. We've also got these skulls. We've got a small box here that's going to need painted. We've got some telescopes here and a crystal ball. So those are all going to have their own color palettes as well. We also have, I think those actually might be scrolls, not telescopes. So those will have to be painted as color of a scroll. But other than that, you can see here we've got all these beautiful books. We're just trying to get them colored in. Just like so. All right. There we go. We got the darker brown books covered. So, now we need to switch colors for a moment. Grab my wash cup. I have a sonic brush cleaner that is on its way. It won't be here till this evening. Otherwise, I would be using that with my brushes when I go to take care of it. And after this, we also need to clean up our palette, because that dark brown isn't going to be used anywhere else. We don't have to worry about the table. This table we got done last time. So I'm going to end up hitting that with a gloss coat varnish. So it looks really nice, but that'll be later on and off camera. And the reason I do things like that off camera is I actually have to leave the room for those ones, guys. So that's just a thing. Alright, so we need a lighter brown. And I have this really nice dryad brown, which is a tanner brown, a lighter brown. So we can use that on some of the other books, and then we'll do a black binding on some of the books as well. So now we just want to, as long as you guys can see what I'm actually doing here, just want to go in, and now we want to get some of these other books. We're just going to give them this lighter tan paint. And then we'll use this Dwarven Gold paint that I have for all of their bindings. And these look like smaller stacked books. These could even probably be notebooks, so we'll make this light brown their base color. And then we'll make them a different color altogether, guys. We're just going to go through, get some of these other books, this nice brown color, while leaving some of the others to get that really nice black color. We've also got what looks like a little chest down here. We're going to make that this nice tannish brown, because it's right there near the scrolls, along with these two books here, which we will also make brown, along with the one next to them. And then I have a parchment paper white that I will use for those scrolls. We just want to get the rest of these books done real quick. And again, guys, you'll note I'm not necessarily painting all of them this same tan color. You'll notice I am leaving some of them still with the original base coat colors. That's because they're going to get a brown or a black book cover. And this way we have, you know, different books. And again, sorry that you guys can hear. I'm sorry that you guys can hear the outside blower going off. Excuse me a moment. Hey man, I'm in here streaming. Could you knock it off? This is why nobody likes our maintenance crew. They have no respect for the people who live here at all. None. He's going to stand out there with that blower very, very loudly the whole time while I'm streaming. Hey man, I'm in here live. Could you go away? Sorry about that, guys. I apologize for anybody's ears that may have been damaged by me having to yell at the guy outside. But they'll do that on purpose. They come around and they just get loud and annoying. And it causes a problem with the tenants. Those guys are freelance. They're paid by Thistle. But they don't work as Thistle employees. They're just freelance. And so they act and clearly show they don't seem to give much of a crap about what other people have going on in their life. Anyhow, back to what I was doing. So we're just going to continue painting this, getting the rest of these done. I thank you so much for y'all being here. You guys are absolutely amazing. Just going to get these 3 books here, and this big boy here. Alright, so we're going to let those dry a moment while I check chat and give a refresh to my stream marker. Please give me 1 moment, y'all. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue on. We're going to need to use some black for our next spots. Alright, so I hope y'all have been having an amazing summer. You guys are absolutely wonderful, and I'm so glad that you guys are here. I hope that everything is feeling very blessed for you guys. Alright, so we just want to get the black down into here. We've got 1 book that's black, but that's alright. That in its own right doesn't matter too much, because it won't get foreshadowed by the background. Like, sometimes you can do that where, you know, you've got too many things that are a certain color, and so they get lost in the black background because they're either too close to the color or have no texturing to separate them. Whereas in this case, the black is being separated by a large amount of browns and other things. And so it doesn't matter if we have a black book every now and then. So that one was going to be a black book. And so is this one. And this little set here. That one. This one. We just want to get the background with some kind of black back there just to kind of separate it from the foreground. We've got these two little black books here. Then we got this whole background here that we got to get done in black. So let's go ahead and do that. This one book into this edge here. It's going to be black, and then we got the dots back there. Then we get up here, and we've got these two books that are black here, like this. Got this one here. It's also going to be a black book. And that one there, and those three there are also black books. And again, we will be putting golden dwarven gold binding onto them, so they will have a standout binding as well. Let's see, yep, there we go. Now we just got to get that background up there done. I apologize for you guys having to even hear that. You know, they are normally not this kind of obnoxious. Like I said, they're not normally this obnoxious. Looks like we've got a guy that's being a jerk today, guys, so I apologize for it. I apologize that y'all have to keep hearing that for no reason. There's absolutely no reason for him to be standing outside of our back window and running that thing and just standing there, except for he's probably listening to me, which means he's going to get thistle called on him. Alright, so we've got that taken care of. I need to get a new paper towel for palette cleaning. Alright. Now then, let's go ahead and do our gold bindings on our books. I have this really nice Dwarven gold color. It's, again, one of the Game Master's colors. This is Dwarven gold, which is a color I really like. And we're just going to go ahead. You guys can see what I'm doing here. We're just going to get all of the bindings on the books, which doesn't take a whole lot of work. As we just have to run down each book's binding in the two spots where it would have the golden binding markers. And like you can see, it's pretty simple to do even just a bit of simple detailing. This book's got a giant bar. This one only has one. And so you just pay attention to what you're looking at. And sometimes it comes out pretty good. We'll do the base of this crystal ball in this same gold color, helping it to stand out from the wood by being a metallic. And we just got to go over all the other book bindings. This one's got a long flat binding. That one there has a single binding. That's got a double binding. That's got a double binding. That's got a single. That's got a single binding mark. That one's doubled. That one's doubled. But yeah, as you can see, guys, you just mark where these spots are. So we've got kind of a long bar, one at the bottom. That one's got its binders there. We've got our bindings there and there. This one's got a single fat one. That one's got a single. And then with this chest, we're just going to give this a nice little golden separation there for where the chest is. That there has a little gold binding on it. These all have gold bindings across them. That one's got a single marker. And as you guys can see, it's just, when it comes down to painting miniatures, it is a bit of a tedium thing. Because it can take a long time sometimes. But if you're diligent, and in my case, I don't let my shaking bother me so much, I can usually get it done pretty well. I am having a bit of the shakes today, guys, but I've had a bit of an issue with my Parkinson's as of late anyways, so it's just part of my normal routine these days, I suppose. Yeah, there are. Yeah, there are. Especially with the bookshelf. And that alchemy table is going to have some, but not quite as many. But this one had a lot of really fine detailing in it. I did 3D print it. So this is a 3D print that I got from Cults 3D for free. It was one of their free downloads for RPG tabletop stuff. And I really like it. And as you can see, I'm definitely very, very shaky today, guys. Like I said, I've been having a bout with my Parkinson's for a little bit. So, unfortunately, that is a thing. Alright, so now we'll need some parchment or bone white. Again, get the towel. This gold cleaned up. Alright, let's get these put away. We don't need these right now. Okay, there's some ancient bones. Now we have this really cool ancient bones color, which works really, really well for both skulls and also scrolls for parchment paper that's supposed to look a little aged. And then I also have a sepia wash that we will use for the two skulls and bring out the color for them. But right now, we're just going to go over these two scrolls. And the skulls. Like I said, there are just a lot of really fine details on this specific bookshelf that I printed. And so just a lot of tedious detail to take care of. What we'll do with these parchments is, instead of getting a sepia wash, we will give them a shadow wash so that they'll look more like aged scrolls. But this ancient bone color is great for a beginning base if you're planning on using washes to show the difference, say, between like the skulls here, which otherwise would appear to be the same color, which is silly. It makes them look more like real bone, where the shadow wash would make them look like they were made from paper mache. Surprise, surprise. Which is why we use the shadow wash in one area and the sepia wash in the other. There's the skulls and stuff. And then we can also do this same color on the crystal ball. So we'll just go over it like this. Then we will use a blue wash over the crystal ball to make it look more crystal-like. There we go. All right. And as you guys can see, I'm using an ultra fine detailing brush to do a lot of this for this smaller stuff, and it's because it prevents me from making a huge mess by, going out of the lines, missing everything, having paint everywhere instead of in the spots where I want it. I'm bad for that kind of thing, honestly. I'm glad you're here, Morgana. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you, honey. I'm so glad you're always here, or at least try to be. Let's go ahead and get a nice purple. I was going to do red for the wax seal, ring around the scrolls, but I think that this purple might look just a little bit cooler. So we're going to do that instead. And we're going to use this same purple for the box that's sitting on the shelf here. Nice little dual purpose for the coloring, huh? And since this is technically a wizard's bookshelf that ended up in a Draconian library somehow, it would make sense that some of the things would have color matchups, like the box and the scrolls, I suppose. So there we go. Now that will be ready for it to get the washes on the bone and stuff. But before we do that, we're going to use that same purple for some of the items that we have up onto here. We'll do this goblet, this little cup, in that same purple. Now this is the alchemy table. So we want to make certain that we have some tie-ins between all of it. Except for the one table that's just a table. I mean, because it's just a table. They come pretty standard. We'll make this one bottle here, I think, would look really good as that same purple as well. I hope you guys can actually see what I'm doing, because I'm kind of a numbnuts and move out of the camera view a lot. So I apologize if that seems to happen too much. If it is happening too much, please let me know, so I can adjust things so that it's not going to keep doing that. Let's see. Yeah, I think that will work for that one, gaining some purples. And at this rate, it might be nothing but painting for today's video. Or stream video. Jesus. I've been video recording things so frequently, you guys, that I still call streaming recording. Jeez. Okay, as long as you guys can see me. And no worries, anytime we got to do a restart on a computer system, it's going to be that way. Alright, so let's grab our sepia shade, which I'm almost out of. I'm actually going to have to order some more washes, I think. Luckily, I don't have to use too much of this one because it's only going over the 2 skulls. So, I'm going to just take this sepia wash and see how it antiques the skulls, makes them look more ancient. And that's something that sepia wash is really good for. If you have like a bone white, take the sepia wash over the bone white, and it makes it look like this nice antiqued bone look. Isn't that gorgeous? Alright. Now we need our shadow wash for the 2 scrolls. And again, a lot of these are this Game Master brand. I just really like this brand. I don't have to use a lot of it per piece. And if I do wipe it away, given how little the puddle really is, you know, I'm not looking at making myself feel like an idiot by wasting, you know, paints and washes and all of that. And then you see there, when you take the shadow wash onto it, it makes the paper look more antiquated. Like that. Looks neat when you do that kind of thing, huh? I know I enjoy it. I love doing this. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I'm so glad you decided to join me today, y'all. Y'all are wonderful. Wonderful people. Now, we just need to get a bit of a blue wash. And I do recommend you shake your paints and washes before you use them. Otherwise, you'll get the separated version of what you're trying for, and that's not good. I'm just going to say it. It's not good. And we're just going to take some of this blue wash. Again, I'm moving myself out of my camera view somehow. We're just going to go over this white with this blue wash and get this really nice kind of swirly crystal ball blue. Yeah, just like that. Now it's the crystal ball. And that would be our bookshelf done. I am going to do this inlay here. You can see this inlay up here. I'm going to do that in copper. So I have that paint, but we are going to work on, yeah, we might as well finish it, I suppose. I was going to go over to the alchemy bench, but let's get this one done instead. That's the Dwarven Gold. Where is my copper? It's the undercoat. Oops. Now I'm just throwing them places. Sheesh. Cyclops flesh. God, I have so many paints. Fire orange. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have so many colors, I can't find the one I'm looking for. I'm literally just looking for the copper. Oh, for frick's sakes. That took forever for no reason. Sheesh. You know, it's sad when you have so many paints, you have to dig through them to find it. So this is a cast bronze or copperish color. I like to use it for writings and stuff. I've also used it a lot so the lid don't want to stay on there right or don't want to go on right. Alright, so we're just going to go over this lettering here with this copper color. Now, all of the stuff written on this bookshelf is, I believe, in Elvish. But don't take my word for it, as I am not the person that designed this specific thing. And actually, those are starting to look more like druidic symbology to me, which is fine. Just get this cast bronze color in there. There we go. And that is the completed bookshelf. So we can have that ready to go into our library. Now, while we have the copper here, we're moving over to this. While we have the copper here, we're going to go ahead and put that onto this. This is the way table portion for weighing out ingredients for alchemy. I mean, it is an alchemy table after all. So we're just going to make the paddles there also this same copper. And we'll do the same thing with this one goblet here. So that we have this kind of nice, clearly used for alchemy table. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. And the next things we're going to need are going to be that same antique white. We've got some parchment here on the table. We've got a skull up here that we're going to need to paint with that. And then it's just the colors of the bottles and the one spot that's going to need a dark brown wood. And I may make it like a cast iron color instead, do like a cast iron metallic there instead. But we'll see. We will see. Move this over just a bit. Alright, so now we want to get over this skull, like we did with the last ones. And this was actually a 3D file that included bookshelf, this alchemy table, the small table you see, and it had a bunch of other stuff that was in there too that I haven't even bothered to look at or print just yet, as I didn't really need them just yet. I'm sure we'll need them for other dioramas, guys, so that's a thing. We just want to go over the skull like so. So that's the skull, and we just go over the pieces of parchment that are sitting here. Looks like we've got a couple pieces stacked up here in this one spot, and as well as this other spot. So we'll have this one underneath as well. And the person who made these 3D files, I'm not sure of their name, I can't remember who it was. I got it from Cults 3D. It is free, and I am really impressed with the detailing that they have gone to for these files. Because these are very, very detailed tables. The bookshelf, as you could tell, was very, very detailed as well. And so there's those. Always make certain as you run out of your paper towel, if you're using a paper towel as a palette clean, like you see that I've been doing, which of course doesn't lead to a clean palette, it just leads to a quick dry on whatever's left on the palette so that I can continue doing what I'm doing. It is what it is, folks. Sheesh. Alright, let's see here. Where was that gunmetal gray? I'll just throw that anywheres. Yeah, there it is. So this one is it's called Deadly Iron. So it's another metallic, but it's like a darker than the Elven Silver that I usually use for like rooftops and things. It's a bit darker. Looks more like iron or metal. We're going to go ahead and do that for this part. And for the two paddle bars, so the bars that are there will also get this same color. We are going to want to make certain that we get underneath. And we could go down those bars. Like so. Now, unfortunately, this alchemy table is defunct. It doesn't work anymore because one of the paddles is broken off. And so the story is that the Draconian library got a hold of this after a human city was wrecked. Give me a moment, guys. Hello? 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 Get out of here with that. So that's about the story of my day, guys. That was one of those scam calls. And I love those people that they don't even talk to you when they call. They're just trying to fucking grill your phone for info. Idiots just called my house phone instead of my cell phone. So there's no way they could have scammed that for anything. It just never ceases to amaze me the lengths that some people will go to try and steal from you. And I will check chat in just a moment, y'all. Just want to get this done real quick. There we go. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get that wiped away so we don't have that become a mess on something else. Let me check chat real fast. Oh, yeah, you know, and they're never as random as you would think. They're never as random as you would think. There are people out there that they intentionally go looking through YouTube to see who's streaming just to try and find a way to interrupt it. Yes, People like that actually exist. And it's like, okay, I get it. You're kind of a dill hole if you're going to be pulling that, man. Like, you know darn well I'm streaming. You watch just for it, just so you can interrupt it and be kind of a jerk. It's not going to work with somebody like me because I'm just going to bitch about it to my audience in the first place, which of course should make whoever's doing that look really stupid or feel really stupid at the very least. Oh my goodness, you guys, it's funny. People seem to think they're smart. And you know, even myself, but I'm open to admitting I'm not the smartest person alive. In fact, I will quickly admit I'm about the stupidest person alive. But I'm still not stupid enough to try and scam people or steal info from their phone. How funny is that? I will happily admit that I'm the stupidest man alive. Not worried about it. And I'm still not stupid enough to try what some of these people are trying with scam calls. How does that make sense? Oh well. Everybody got to show greed for something, I suppose. I mean, it's really all it looks like to me is like somebody trying to be a greedy person and, you know, turning out that their attempt failed. That's what it looks like. I mean, I could be way the hell wrong. God only knows I'm wrong a lot. The problem with those kind of people isn't that they need to go interact with humans. It's that their interactions with other humans that are out there in the real world are usually hateful filled. They usually are either hating on that person or that person's hating on them. And it's really sad that it's like that, but it is. Yeah. You know, it really is. You know, and then there's things like common sense. They call it common sense. It's literally the most uncommon thing on the whole planet. Like, almost no one seems to have common sense anymore. Like, you would think common sense would tell you, you know, don't be a jerk. But then that same person whose common sense just told them not to do that will go do that anyways. Okay, well, that's genius, dude. That's genius. You literally just showed everybody you have no common sense when you were just saying you have common sense. Oh well. Common sense would say if somebody tells you something is hot that you probably shouldn't touch it. Most people will still proceed to go touch that shit. Why? Who knows? Literally, like, who knows? Nobody can understand why some people are like that. And I don't say it's everyone because it's not everyone. In fact, it's rather few and far between, luckily, for people of that type. But still, how are you getting that way? I don't understand. And yeah, I have a sense of humor about it. You can hear me chuckling through this whole conversation. I obviously have a clear sense of humor about it. But the point is really more along the lines of why? Why is any of this? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go back to some of this gunmetal because we've got some drawers here that need their handles showing off. You can see the drawers down here and this some up here. So we're just going to dot this guy real quick. Blah. Dot his little friend. Let's see, we've got that band that runs around it also, but I'm going to make that same copper. But first, let's go ahead and get these drawer handles exposed to some color. There we go. You can actually open them drawers now. Alright, so now we need our sepia shade, for the skull. And then we'll go back over the other ones with the shadow shade for the parchment. And then we've got one more bottle to color. And that should be about it for that. Jeez, I'm completely out of sepia shade. Like, I literally have just enough for this skull, I think. If I add a little bit of isopropyl alcohol into that bottle, I should be able to get some more out of it, which would be nice. Let's just go ahead and go over this skull with a nice sepia shade, giving it that antique skull look. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. There's that skull on there now. Looks like a nice antique old skull. Now we get our shadow wash. Just need a little drip of that onto the thing. Then we just go back over all of the parchment with that. Making it look like old worn parchment paper. There we go. Just like that. Nice little alchemy table. And it looks like we've already been up a whole hour, guys. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So, we've got one more bottle to do on this. And we're going to do that in a nice neutral red. One of the few very, very red things in the diorama. We've got this one last little teeny tiny bottle right there, guys, that we need to get done. So we're going to give this one a nice red color. And I figured this time, since it's got more exposed at the back than the front, I would start back at the back side of it. Work my way around. There we go. That is one finished alchemy bench. Doesn't that look nice, you guys? That's right. And you know, you got health potions, mana potions, and that nice green regen potion. And you even got a shield potion sitting there. Alright. And that looks like, unfortunately, painting those took up so much time. But it looks like I am out of time for today, you guys. So thank you so much for joining me today. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I love you guys so much. We're going to take some time real quick to get my brushes put away, and then I will show you guys some of the dioramas that I have finished up and been working on that I haven't shown you guys yet. So I hope you guys are excited for that. I do have everything cut out for the stained glass window that will be up on this wall here. So we've got that going. I say this wall here and then I touch something you guys can't even see because I'm a moron. But you know, it is what it is. Alright, so let me go grab my most recent finished project so that y'all can see some of the weird, fun stuff that I've been doing. Just wanted to get the water cup emptied. Alright. Dry my hands. And then give a zoom out. No, not extreme close. Why do you always want to extreme close? Why? What was the point of that? You stupid thing. What was the point of that? Why? God. Having to do a live stream with my phone, guys. That is insanely crazy. Alright. So. For starters. So, this is my happy Star Wars summer scene. This is a group of vacationing stormtroopers who found themselves at kind of the negative end of a Rancor. As you can see, they are not too happy about it. But this is all resin and wave effects. And pretty much just, I had a lot of fun with this one. This one was actually entertaining for me to do, just because it helped to inspire some other creators to make similar scenes or scenes that are kind of like it. So that was kind of fun. Now this next one, guys, is modular. It's actually in 2 parts. But this is a stormtrooper set who unintentionally got teleported into a Warhammer 40k world. You can see the troopers here up by this one portal here coming in, and then you can see all the Warhammer 40k guys being literally 6 total space trooper types, 3 space marines, 3 space nuns. But them troopers are a bit in trouble. Again, this is another diorama that I used resin for. So this entire, this is a swamp pond, obviously by its coloration and things. But this one was the modular build that I made because it was larger than I had expected. But that was this one. But the backstory for this one is kind of sad. So this is Exploration Team Delta. They have the worst record in the entire Empire. Everywhere they go, they seem to pick a fight. And this is no exception to the rule. One of them went and found what looked like a stone archway, just like this one, and touched it. And that's where they ended up. So the moral of the story is, if it looks like it might be a gateway portal, don't touch it. And it's mostly because you never know where you're going to end up. Alright. I don't think I have too many others that you guys haven't already seen. But I know I have some. In fact, I know I have some things you guys haven't seen at all yet. And so those I'm bringing over now. There are just a large amount of them because they are smaller displays or items that pertain to the channel. Set these out of the way for a moment. This is my miniature Mandalorian diorama. You can see Mando there. I will hold it up for you guys in just a moment. Like I said, there's a lot of things sitting here that I wanted to show you guys. So this is my micro diorama for the Mandalorian. That's Mando there. Unfortunately, I hit him and it broke the barrel of the gun and it got lost. I have no idea what happened, so now he's carrying a shotgun. But that is my Mando figure set. And as you can see, I made this entire tree myself. And this is on a large base. So he was kind of fun. And this is a micro-sized diorama of a snow speeder entangling an at walker. This one was actually really fun because I 3D printed both of these little guys as small as they are. And they came out pretty good, actually. I was really happy with the way this one turned out. I also went and made this, and it is acting like it's not going to light up anymore. There it goes. But this is a light up red lightsaber that I made. Custom handle and everything. And this one's really cool because if we shut off the lights and I move these guys to aim out that way a bit, you can really see the glow of it. And I did leave some sticking out the back, so it has an afterglow as well. So when it's sitting somewhere like against the wall, it gives a rear glow as well. This is the narrator. And for those who have already seen him, his eyes light up and flicker just a little. But this is the narrator. So now, when I do all those narrator videos for like Hollow Knight and whatever, this is the guy that'll be appearing in the corner. Don't you just love the idea? I know I do. But that's our narrator. And then my editor, Morgana, I made one of her. So she has her own little character here. What, I had to give him a body. He needed it. Disembodied voices are weird, you know. But there's your little character, Morgana. And then, of course, y'all know I had to do it. I made me. So now there is a miniature solar wolf out there, complete with goofy look and handlebar mustache. You know you love it. You know you want it. You know you need it. Love me. Just love me. He's got the doofiest look on his face, you guys. I'm sorry, but I can't help but laugh at him when I see him. And he's me, so that really has a lot to say for things. Anyhow, let me flip this up. Hey, there we go. All right, everyone. Anyhow, thank you so much for joining me. For all of you that were here today, you guys are absolutely amazing. And I love your faces so much. Thank you so much for being here. I hope my mustache doesn't make people scream and run away because it's so sexy. Just kidding. Anyhow, guys, I love y'all. Bye.